Hi, your name from band name, and you're listening to the Cinescape on Toxic Radio. Cinescape. This is Michael Winslow, and that was your name from band name and heavy metal. Shut up!
Top of the afternoon to you, laddies and lassies. Happy St. Patrick's Day here from the Toxic Radio Studios. I am, of course, Sean Shillelagh Harrigan, joined by Bill Blarney Stone O'Tazi. Hello, William.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm doing just fine, just fine.
Oh,
We're also
weather.
joined here by, I don't have a good name for you, Michael. We're just going to call you Michael for now.
Hey, Michael. Michael.
Say hello, Michael. Now we're sounding like Donald Pleasance.
I can't do an accent like that, but it reminds me of Back to the Future 3, so I enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for your insight, Michael.
Seamus,
We're also joined here by
already been
Jamie
partying.
behind the boards. Jamie, how's it going?
Happy St. Patty's Day to everyone.
Oh, he sounds like an American.
That's right.
I could tell by his accent.
Accent? What accent?
It is St. Patrick's Day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Look, maybe you're going to check out the show before you're heading out tonight for your St. Patrick's Day festivities.
St. Patrick's Day.
We have a bunch of movie news, a bunch of TV news, and later on in the show, we are going to be ranking our list of MCU movies from 18 all the way down to 1 as we are on the road to Avengers Infinity War. Tickets just went on sale this past yesterday. We got our tickets yesterday. Hopefully you guys got a chance to do so as well. Bill, right before we came down here, we were watching the Infinity War trailer.
Yeah.
2 again. I
Again.
don't know how many times we've probably both watched it in the last
I probably
24
watched
hours.
it about a dozen or so times with
Oh, you don't say.
with my my wife.
Italians can't do very good Irish accents.
No, they can't. They sound like Sinead O'Connor. More like John Connor.
I had a dream about it once.
All right, well, as we are getting into today's show, we're going to let you guys know that today's show, as always, is brought to you by Alternate Dimension Toys. Stop in today for the largest collection of toys, collectibles, and Funko Pop figures in the area. Yes, Michael has his
Next
finger up.
year, on the same day,
Yeah.
we need to hire
Right.
Cinescape barmaids. We need
Okay.
girls in here to make drinks and pour us shots all throughout the show.
All right. Well, at least.
Mom, are you listening?
Yeah, Mom.
We need you to have a skirt.
Is this really happening?
None of those Deptford hoes, okay?
Okay, none of those. Yeah, we ain't got no love for them hoes.
No thoughts.
No thoughts.
Yeah,
Do you know
no
what thoughts stands for?
It makes no sense because how can you be? It stands for that hoe over there. So just by conventional English language rules,
Right.
you can't be an object over there or in a place.
Right.
You have to just be the object. So it doesn't make sense. That's why kids today are stupid.
Yeah. Millennials.
Dopes.
Before we get rolling here, we should mention that the show, if you haven't mentioned, of course, is brought to you by.
Well, I already read that.
Yeah, I know you read
It's
it.
Alternate Dimension Toys.
There's a difference between reading and reiterating. I
Okay,
like to-
well, it is. I mean, we were just up
Right.
there the other day.
and you know what?
We invaded.
Yeah, we.
Andy had no clue we were coming up.
No, none. And we totally ripped on Newtown a little bit.
Yeah.
They needed-
We
they-
brought to light some issues.
They
that,
needed some ripping, you know.
Need a light shed it on.
Exactly. But he's got a new podcast that he started.
Yes, the Alternate Dimension Toys podcast.
and-
I believe we're going to be
Yeah.
popping
so
on there in the coming weeks.
for our listeners, give us a couple weeks. We're going to put some time together, but you'll have to check us out on another platform talking about what we do best, and that is nerd shit. And that's going to be nerding out over some toys, and maybe I can steal some little kids' Pop Funko, Funko popcorn figure,
Oh my God!
But this show is also brought to you by soft pretzels and mustard, a Philadelphia original treat, home baked right here in the not New Jersey area, but right outside of New Jersey, Philadelphia. And here's spicy brown mustard. As you can
Gotta
tell,
have spicy brown.
The spicy brown differs in color and texture a little bit, mainly because mainly because it still has remnants of the
Schmegma.
the mustard schmeg.
The schmeg.
Yeah,
Wow!
wow! Perfect for dipping. And
My mom used to call me her favorite little schmegma.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well,
What makes a Philly pretzel a Philly pretzel? Why is Philly known?
It's the scummy, ratty, homeless
I was
dude
about to
on
say-
the side of the road selling them, digging in his ass crack, scratching it, and then picking them up with his bare hands.
Oh, that's how you get the quality.
That's where
not
the
in
taste
those
comes from.
stores.
Yeah.
You got to get it while you're waiting at a red light.
I mean,
Absolutely.
Yep.
If
And they
were to-
still keep them hot out there somehow.
Yeah, if we were to examine the pretzel, I mean, it's got the perfect doughiness in the middle. It's not too chewy, but it's enough to salivate over. And then on the outside, it's all about how golden brown the pretzel's baked on the outside. You don't want it, crumpling and creating crumbs like a standard snack pretzel would be. But it's
Go slower.
It should crackle
Does it
just
take you to Flavor
a little
Town?
bit when
And you hold it up to the mic
You
a
know,
little bit.
yeah.
So you hear
Just, can you hear it?
Ooh.
Wait, shh. It's beautiful, right?
I hope
And
you
then-
guy are watching this live.
and then,
it's great
If
television.
we take a look, it's not regular table salt that's used on here. It's it's a grain of salt, slightly smaller than a typical Philly crack rock. Okay, and
Say what?
and that, honestly, after I take a bite here, what makes a great Philly pretzel?
Pretzel.
I'm gonna
Pretzel.
So you're gonna watch me take one more dip, and you want to get that all over the spot that is gonna go in your mouth.
Oh.
Okay. Just like
Wow!
And that's how you eat a pretzel slobbily. So with the advent of Cinescape Pretzel Talk here, we are going to get into this week's TV Buzz. Bill, as you're clearing your gullet there, where we're going to highlight the biggest news stories from the world of television and maybe even review something. All right, Bill. I know you probably didn't watch what I was going to talk about to review. But anyway, that's okay. Because Netflix's hit sci-fi series Black Mirror has been renewed for a 5th season. The news broke on Black Mirror's official Twitter handle with a caption reading, "The future will be brighter than ever. No news of a number of episodes for the new season has been released as of yet." Bill, have you ever checked out any of the episodes of this show? It's on Netflix.
no.
No. I've been recommended to watch it by a number of different people. I think
Respected people?
debatable.
Okay.
But I did watch like one or two. They're all right. It's a UK show.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, I don't know, just for
Is
whatever
there a lot of
reason-
accents? Is it like
Well,
Peaky
yeah.
Blinders, like that?
See, I liked Peaky Blinders.
Couldn't get into it. I had to watch it with subtitles. I usually don't mind
They're
watching
tough to,
some.
yeah,
I
because they had
usually-
the more
Yeah.
like country.
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, welcome to the welcome to the rock. Hello there, Dike. It's fligging here. I'm like,
Okay.
all right,
Yeah, I watched like one or two episodes.
Schniergen.
I mean, they're neat sci-fi standalone episodes that don't connect really to anything else. Yeah, a lot of people like it. I just never really got into it.
Yeah.
But if you're a fan of the show, enjoy the news. Bill,
right.
read our next story here, please.
Will do. Despite the declining rating for AMC's The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, Chief Content Officer Scott Gimple has stated that
Sounds like Pimple.
Gimple Pimple. has stated that more spin-off series are on the way. Speaking with The Hollywood Reporter as the music gets louder and louder, Gimple said, we're going to be doing traditional stuff, non-traditional stuff, stuff people don't expect, but yes, definitely scripted. The odds of unscripted are very remote, but I'm not going to say no. We're going to have cool new Walking Dead shit. We have a bunch of different things in mind, some things that are really complementary to the stuff we're doing now, and some stuff that is just far afield and very different. I'm hoping to do a variety of different projects that are probably more in line with what we see on TV, but maybe in different rhythms and formats and things like that. I'm talking about different ways to tell stories, possibly with characters we know and possibly with characters we don't know. Wow, that was riveting, Scott Gimple.
Jay, we can turn that up just a little bit more now.
Okay.
Bill, you said a mouthful there. I hope
Jesus
everybody
Christ.
got all that. I don't know how. I know, Bill, you don't watch the show.
No, but I definitely know
you're
that
not
there
gonna
is
now after that.
there's different stuff, and just about every episode is different from the other,
I mean, they're not though.
and they're totally unscripted, and they're usually different. And
So, like, does this just not that you're a fan or that you watch these shows, but just from what the premise of some of these things of the new kind of spin-offs or whatever, an unscripted show, like, is that like a zombie reality show? Like,
I don't know.
What does an unscripted Walking Dead show look like? Is it all goofy improv? Is they getting their brains ripped out, or what is it?
I mean, I don't know, but it just sounds like if this is a statement from a executive at a major network, and you basically give me a description of like a fucking 12-year-old, like I don't really think I want to watch this show.
Yeah. I'm
So,
not
Mr.
sure how I feel about
Harrigan,
that.
I heard that you're a Walking Dead fan, and if you watch this Thursday, there's going to be a lot of different stuff to watch, and, there's going to be a lot of different people getting their heads blown off, but then there's different zombies from the other zombies from last season that were different, and it's just a lot of different.
Exactly.
Like,
I mean, I tried
kill
watching
yourself.
Fear the Walking Dead. I mean,
Fear of the Dark.
I stuck through like a season and a half, and it was just really bad, and I have not picked up watching that again.
Yeah.
So I don't think I really even care to see any of these other possible spin-offs or whatever the hell they're going to do with this franchise. I mean, the last season plus has just been, I mean, the ratings are going down every single week per episode. I mean, I'm still enjoying the show for what it is, but it could really use some refreshing here. So, yeah, I don't think I
No, I totally understand.
continue as you guys are having a video
Snapchat
phone,
battle.
Snapchat battle.
Snapchat!
Hashtag Snapchat battle.
Snapchat!
That's exciting. I'm going to continue along as a professional. Impractical Jokers has been renewed for an 8th season at True TV, the network announced last Wednesday. In addition, the comedy team will star in their first feature film, which will be produced by Funny or Die and directed by Chris Henchy. Bill, what do you think about an Impractical Jokers type movie, or at least from the guys who run the show?
I love these guys. They're hilarious. But I'm just, kind of curious as to how do they transcend that into a feature film? Do you think it's going to be more kind of like real life, like, they're doing, antics, out and about, just in a bigger platform?
Now, obviously, from that story, we didn't get any, clarity on what type of film it's going to be. I mean, is it going to be a regular scripted film, or is it going to be something like a Jackass kind of movie?
Yeah.
So we're not sure. But especially with how big they've gotten over the last number of years with their show, it's got to be incredibly difficult to get authentic pranks from people who don't know who they are.
Well, and if you see them, when they're doing street performing and stuff like that, like they do, and they do film it and just go along with it, but they do find people that oust them and recognize
not
them.
Everybody in America is watching True TV,
right?
Can we just
Michael,
change? Can we change True TV to the
false TV?
No, to the Impractical Jokers Cabanero Effect channel.
It's pretty much
basically
it's that,
all it is.
And that stupid, like World's Dumbest Criminal show.
But they don't even play that. I used to love
Tanya
watching
Harding.
that. You cannot. you catch that at like midnight. That's like midnight to 3 a.m.
It's like all the Z-list celebrities. That pop
everything
up on
else is a marathon, a Cabanero, and yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be. I mean, it's a great show to put on. Just when you're lounging around, not really paying attention to the TV, you just kind of have it on as background filler. But I mean, the show is great. So looking forward to see what they could do in the movie realm. Bill, read our next one.
Jon Favreau has been tapped to write and executively produce the live-action Star Wars series at Disney's upcoming streaming service. The company announced last Thursday, "I couldn't be more excited about Jon coming on board to produce and write for the new direct-to-consumer platform," said Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy. "Jon brings the perfect mix of producing and writing talent combined with a fluency in the Star Wars universe. The series will allow Jon the chance to work with a diverse group of writers and directors and give Lucasfilm the opportunity to build a robust talent base."
That's very exciting news.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what the premise of this live action Star Wars show is. What time period is it? Who are the characters? What's the show going to be about? And when you're adding somebody with the talent that Jon Favreau has, that's just aces all around. Now, the unfortunate thing about this news is that it dropped last, I want to say Thursday, which was International Women's Day. So, the
Great day.
It's a great day, but the internet didn't react too positively about quote unquote adding another white man to a role, a directorial role, and especially on International Women's Day. So it caught a little flack for that.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into that kind of a debate on this show. I mean, your opinion is yours, mine is mine. I don't think we need to reflect that. But Jon Favreau is an incredibly talented, not only actor but director as well. And when you're adding caliber and the talent caliber like his, that I think it's a good thing. Anything else to add to this one?
No, I mean, he's always been a very competent writer, actor, director.
He's money.
He's money, bro.
He's so money, he doesn't know how money he is.
So I mean, we're talking about Jon Favreau. He's got a great work history.
Johnny Favs, I call him.
Great body of work, and he's already shown what he can do on the Marvel side of things. So jumping over to Star Wars,
it's a natural,
yeah,
it's a lateral move,
right.
A natural lateral move.
Yeah.
Alrighty, our next one. If you are a '80s/90s kid, you're going to be excited about this one.
This would just be '90s.
Well, I mean, if you're born in the '80s.
Sure.
Because Nickelodeon is planning a reboot for their classic '90s series, Clarissa Explains It All. Original star Melissa Joan Hart is being eyed to reprise her role as the titular character, and the executive producer and writer of the show is also being approached to return. Bill, you don't look too happy about.
There seems to be a difference of opinion over there.
Yeah,
She's a dirty
Bill,
girl.
tell us what's going on right now.
All right.
Dirty girl.
Listen.
Have you ever seen her in an interview about like posing and half naked and sexual revolution?
No, but I mean, I've seen
dirty.
I've seen the Maxim covers. And
Yeah,
stuff.
she's dirty.
Yeah, she's got that girl next door that becomes a freak at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Girl
That's
next
fine.
door look, but freak in the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Just saying.
But getting into topically of this news, listen, Clarissa Explains It All wasn't a huge show, right?
I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so did I. It was on Nickelodeon at like 4:00 in the afternoon, like smack dab in between all that and Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Great show.
Great show.
Great show.
But
Shrine of the Silver Monkey.
Monkey,
but I mean,
monkey.
the show. It was nothing more than her and her brother Ferguson.
Yeah, that redheaded
And-
asshole.
You could see it as a rip to some other successful shows out there that were on bigger networks like Blossom and shit like that, right? Where it's
Yeah, but
you got the.
Clarissa's way hotter than Blossom was.
I agree, but the fact
Come on, man. Look at that beak.
fact is like
I like nerdy.
fact is a '90s reboot of this show isn't it's just not a franchise that has like a lot of power behind it. So it's just another situation where a network is trying to make money and can't come up with original shit. So.
Well, absolutely, especially with the prevalence of these franchise and series reboots. I mean, I think Roseanne was it this past week that it re-debuted, or maybe last week? I think it was this week though.
I think it was last week.
Was it last week?
Yeah.
Murphy Brown's getting one.
Murphy Brown.
Oh no way! Really?
Yeah. Murphy Brown.
Oh God.
Hold us a second one here. We're going to do a St. Patty's Day shot. Slancha.
Solu.
You should. By the way,
But yeah,
you should have made this. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
Pick
Don't do it again.
something that you guys always do, and whoever's listening to this episode, they have to drink every time you guys do it. If you can think of something during the show,
Like a tick kind
like
of thing.
something. Is there something that you always do, or every time you play the wow, something like that?
You have to take two shots every time we play this.
Wow.
I'm just going to play it for the next 30 minutes straight.
Oh, I hope somebody does it.
Oh God, you guys!
And every time,
I could never listen to the show.
every
again.
time Bill does it, you have to do 3.
Wow.
Or you could have tiers, you know what I mean? Like the WoW one, since like it's done all the time, that could be like 1 second of drinking, right? When I go on a rant, somebody has to drink for that entire rant.
And you don't have to do it for just this episode. Go through all the episodes.
Okay.
And use all the episodes.
They
as a
are
drinking
all the
game.
episodes are available both on iTunes in podcast form
There you
and
go.
on our YouTube channel with full video.
And on the Toxic Radio app.
And on the
And the
Toxic Radio
Toxic
app by downloading the
Radio
Toxic Radio app in the
It
Toxic
will
Radio
not
store.
give your phone AIDS.
No.
But it is free, but I would like you to send me $5.
Me
To
too.
my home address,
Send me
which is-
$5.
Just
Send Michael Francolino
701
a
West
money
Red Bank
a
Ave.
money order for $10.
Send your postcards to Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois 60652.
60652.
Help take a bite out of
Mike is very, very needy. Believe me, I know. I have seen
And
the bank account.
he's very handsy too.
you can call me at 856-217.
Oh man, well let's try to get back on track. But we have one more TV buzz story here. If you could read that one for us, we're
Yeah.
very excited to hear this.
So USA's The Sinner has been renewed for a second season. Originally a 6-part miniseries, season 2 will continue as an anthology that follows Bill Pullman's detective Harry Ambrose as he explores a new crime. Ambrose will travel to his hometown in upstate New York, where he will investigate the murder of 2 people by their 11-year-old son.
Now, Bill, you watched this one too, right? Didn't you and your wife? I know your wife got me and my wife onto this show. Did you watch it with her?
So I started season 1, faded out a little bit towards the end. So I am not up to current with this.
Okay.
But from what I saw, it was psychological thriller, some crazy twists and turns,
Yep.
and yeah.
I mean, it was a pretty good show for what it was. In the read there was only a 6-episode
Right.
short series there, miniseries. But for what it was good. But Bill,
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. And I want to have them answered immediately.
this isn't necessarily geared towards you, but just proposed to you. So this is going to be season 2 here. It's going to be a completely different, series of scenarios here with Bill Pullman's character, moving on to a new case.
Yeah.
With Jessica Biel and her part in the first season. I mean, we didn't really get a full resolution to it. Spoiler alert, because you didn't finish yet. But it wasn't a complete story. So if this is going to be like an anthology thing, a la American Horror Story, like American Horror Story or something, hopefully that's not the case. It seems to be the same character. But I don't want them to keep going and jump around to new things without finishing off things first. So that's a little upsetting to hear, especially just because I like the first season so much. But I'll definitely be checking it out whenever it does get released. Did you watch any Jessica Jones since it came out last week?
No.
Jessica Jones Season 2 is available right now on Netflix. It actually came out last Thursday on International Women's Day, a day early from the reported release date. They usually come out Friday, and I'll drop. But this came out Thursday morning. Good move by Marvel and Netflix, dropping a female-centric superhero story on International Women's Day. I think I'm 9 episodes. I want to say I'm 9 episodes out of 13 in. Some people rip. Our friend of the show here, Pat Mahoney's going to rip that show. I'm not watching it. But for what the show is, if you're expecting the same kind of action and violence from Daredevil or The Punisher, that's not what you're getting. So temper your your expectations at the door.
Temper your door.
Well, I started saying temper your door, but
the
door is fine.
Okay.
Unless it's acting up by itself. Which probably wouldn't happen.
Tempur-pedic your door.
Yes, that too. Getting back, I don't even know what I was just saying now. But yeah, I mean, it's not the action-driven show that these other superhero shows on Netflix are. But they're great character studies. Each episode, there's a lot of character development with Jessica, with Trish Walker, with all the other characters, Jerry Hogarth, whoever it may be.
Yeah.
The first season relied heavily on the themes of abuse and rape and things like that Jessica went through. Season 2 is primarily focusing
on the lady in red.
Well, kind of, because there's a lot of lesbianism in there. there is. So, I mean, if you're a fan of that, you might want to check it out. There's 3 shots because Bill said it first.
Wow.
There's an extra 2. Wow. But also on Jessica finding out the truth about the origins of her superpowers and her family and things that go along with that. And then it also deals a lot with addiction. Trish, Patsy Walker, she has a history of that, and they really delve deep into Jessica and hers relationship as she was going through all that, and the overlying...
Put the pussy on a pedestal.
Yeah, they're putting... Well, I don't know about the pussy on the pedestal, but the more... Wow, we got some bearded gentlemen pulling up outside. Yeah, scary looking.
It's already 5:27.
Guy in plaid.
We gotta get.
But I mean, for the episodes that I have watched, I'm enjoying it. It's a pretty good watch. They also had a really cool MCU reference from Civil War when they were all arrested and put in the raft. They mentioned that as a part of their universe too. So everything is connected. Hey, how's it going? We see you out there. All right, we're going to continue along, Bill, because we are going to flip our script and change the focus to the film world. Bill, I'm really excited because I want you to read this next one for me.
Okay. So, John Travolta and Devon Sawa are set to star in a new film titled Moose that will be directed by none other than Limp Bizkit frontman Fred Durst.
Oh, shit!
Travolta.
Just one of those days.
Just one of those days when Travolta, oh my God, is playing the title character of Moose.
Moose?
Moose. Oh my God, Sandy. I'm a rabid movie fan, obsessed with his favorite celebrity action hero, Hunter Dunbar, played by Devon Sawa. As Moose's obsession grows stronger, his fixation turns from stalking to ambition of destroying another star's life. The story was inspired by a real-life fan who stalked Durst for many years. So, eat your fucking hands off.
That is the John Travolta Limp Bizkit crossover that you've literally been waiting for your entire lives. You are welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You finally got it here. Happy St. Patrick's Day. John Travolta,
oh my God.
Devon Sawa, Limp Bizkit, Moose.
My God.
Are you excited to see this movie?
Sandy. Strangely enough, yeah. And I still don't know what this movie's about, but I'll have to.
Oh my God.
I'll IMDb it later.
I know that Fred Durst has directed like 1 or 2 other films in the past. I don't know what they are. I've never seen them.
I think it was Encino Man 2.
It was Moose Knuckle, and now this one is just Moose.
Mike's
I think.
Hands.
I told you he's handsy.
He's very handsy.
Told you that.
He's like one call away from HR.
He gets gayer as he gets drunker.
Patty's Day, isn't it? This is how you're supposed to be, right?
Yes. Absolutely. Oh, man. Well, we're going to
Three
continue
sheets
along
to
here
the wind.
because new details. Are you ready for this, Bill?
Yeah.
New details regarding the upcoming Joker film from Todd Phillips have emerged, taking inspiration from the Killing Joke comic arc. The Untitled Joker origin movie will portray Batman's arch nemesis as a failed 1980s comedian who develops the Joker persona after quote-unquote bombing with audiences. Joaquin Phoenix is still in talks to play the Clown Prince of Crime, with Martin Scorsese attached as the film's executive producer. So, I mean, are you excited to see a standalone Joker movie with another Joker movie and then a Joker and Harley Quinn movie, some being a part of the DC film universe and some not? What do you think? You look confused. You look confused.
Yeah. I'm gonna need the Joker
Okay.
to go ahead and come in Saturday. Yeah, and then I'm gonna need the other Joker to go ahead and come in on Sunday.
That'd be great.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna need the Joker's uncle
Uh-huh.
to come and pick up my dry cleaning on Monday. Yeah.
The only thing that would get me excited at all to see this
Yeah.
would be that Martin Scorsese's attached to it. I mean, he's not directing, he's executive
Right.
producer, but I mean, if he's, especially for a movie like this, if he's going to throw his hat into the, the superhero movie ring, he's going to have his, touch on it. So, I mean, it could be interesting. I just don't know. Bill, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here. According to Deadline, the New Line has purchased the screenplay for The Many Saints of Newark, the working title for a feature film prequel version of The Sopranos. Were you a Sopranos fan, Bill? Your dago mustache and greasy hair. According to the synopsis of the film will be set in it will be set in the era of the Newark riots in New Jersey in the 1960s.
I love Sopranos.
Oh, there we go. Sopranos right next door to us. Bada bing, bada boom.
Hey, you come down to Tony fucking Sopranos Pizza Ristorante, and you know what? We deliver too. We deliver all around. We deliver to you. We deliver to her. And let me show you something. Look at the best goddamn friggin' meatball pizza you ever
Oh, there's
eat.
plain pizza in there? Let me get one of them.
Pizza. You know, you grab a little slice and it's got a little gobbledygook on
The
top of it.
gabagool.
Gabagool, and you know, you just, listen, you take a bite.
Ah, I don't want that piece. All right, Bill, you excited about a Sopranos prequel movie? As he's getting back to his microphone.
As soon as he gets the shit out of his mouth.
Oh, Billy.
I mean, if it portrays like a Goodfellas kind of movie, I think it's been a while since we had a solid, like, old school Italian, like, let's bust some skulls, let's make some money, and I think if they can pull off a nice story, yeah, I'm down for it.
Did you watch The Sopranos? I know I had never watched it.
I didn't have HBO for a majority of the time that
Right.
it was on the air, so I only caught it maybe like like a few episodes when like you'd get it free for like a month, and then it expired. So
Yeah.
nah. But I got Amazon Prime, so it's on there. So maybe I'll go back and try and catch up in some way.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've never watched The Sopranos, so
Right.
I really don't have anything further to add here. So we're going to, I guess, update you guys whenever we hear anything more about that if you're excited for it. And our final movie story of the day. Rob Zombie has confirmed via his Twitter account that he has begun shooting the Devil's Reject sequel, currently titled 3 from Hell. The Firefly family of Captain Spaulding, Otis, and Baby are all confirmed to return despite their deaths in the Devil's Rejects, prompting speculation about a supernatural angle to the new film.
Yeah.
Bill, did you watch any of these Rob Zombie movies?
Negative Ghost Rider.
No? Jamie?
No, I'm
Devil's
afraid not.
Rejects. What was the first one? I don't know why I'm blanking on it right now.
Probably because you never watched them.
No, I mean I've watched them. But I've watched every Rob Zombie movies that he's made.
Even his noir series.
His noir series. He was supposed to do a Flyers documentary that he
I
wound
remember.
up not doing. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way that movie ends, I mean, there's a big shootout with them and the cops at their compound, and they all die. I don't know how they're going to bring all these characters back. Maybe they're going to like have them be taken to hell after their deaths and then like send them back on a mission. I don't know. We're on a mission from God, except it's going to be from Satan.
Hey, before you wrap up, can you save one more topic for us? Here
Sure.
I'm gonna read just because I thought this one was interesting.
Yeah, go for it.
So, Kristen Wiig has been confirmed to be playing the villain for Wonder Woman 2, playing the character of Cheetah.
Okay.
So
obviously, you have something to say about this. What do you got?
First off, I mean, when we're talking about, Wonder Woman 2, which was one of the top grossing films of 2017.
Right.
Breakout movie, breakout cast, right? Gal Gadot.
I thought it was just okay.
Yeah, I mean, listen, for what I would actually rate it, financially it did beyond expectations.
I just mean movie wise.
No, but I'm not gonna knock it without giving it some credit too. So I mean, we have to give credit for what they did financially. But I mean, the movie wasn't like in the 9s at all. I mean, I would give it a low to mid 7. But
I think I gave it a 7 or 8, something like that.
Yeah. So Kristen Wiig, I mean, let me ask you. I mean, do you really see her playing? Now, I'm not like the most familiar with Cheetah, but I mean, I would
no clue who.
I would
is.
imagine that
like,
Cheetah. I'm gonna look it up right now. She's probably like a lean kind of given Kristen Wiig's stature, she's probably like a lean stature, kind of tall. So I mean, obviously she's gonna have to get in some kind of physical conditioning for this role. She probably won't be very bulky, but I just don't see Kristen Wiig playing a female superhero action type role.
I would 90% agree with you on that. I truly don't really see it as a fit. But I think I've reiterated this fact plenty of times on the show before, especially when you're talking about comedic actors and actresses. Like whenever I talk about Danny McBride, I always think that somebody like him has the propensity to be able to transfer their talents into. That's a great word. That's that's a $5 word.
Drink to that.
I think we should too.
Right.
Here's to propensity.
Yeah, Blarney stands.
Yeah, Slane check. Just because Bill, you've done stand-up comedy. You're a funny guy.
Oh,
but just the background that a lot of these comics and comedians have, they draw things from more of a dark angle, and that's what drives their funniness.
It's because some of these.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
So when you have these comedic actors, are primarily known as transferring over into a dramatic role or an action role, or whatever it may be, I feel that they have more success than some dude who had a supporting role in last year's dramatic Oscar-winning film and then trying to do something else. We've seen it a million times with different things. Jason Bateman is somebody that can come in and be funny, and then play a straight role where he's dark and brooding, or he's an asshole, or he's not what you've seen him in before. Right. And Kristen Wiig has the potential to be somebody that could do that kind of thing too.
Yeah.
So that's where that last 10% comes from to round out the 100. I don't know. I guess. Yeah, it's happening, so we're gonna have to see how the end product turns out.
So I got the picture of Cheetah pulled up here.
Okay.
And, you know, it's in some ways it's
Is
something.
she hot?
Yeah, I mean, if you take a look, I mean, some of them look like something Mike would jerk off to alone on a
Right.
Saturday night.
Well, that's not hot. Because he likes weird stuff.
Yeah, like actual women that are half cheetah. So
Yeah, with a dick.
yeah. Ouch, Jamie! Did I tell you
That Mike looks at chicks with dicks.
Did you know that first off? That Mike looks at.
Had no idea.
He
No?
does. He does.
Nope.
No idea, but would you put it past him?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
So we actually sent a message to his favorite tranny on Twitter. She didn't reply back to us, but
No?
we attempted to get her on her shim on the show.
Yeah.
But maybe another time.
Yeah.
So let's wrap up that, and we want to get into. Sean, I'll let you present.
Yeah, as I alluded to earlier in the beginning of the show, we are on the road to Avengers Infinity War, April 27th, just a month and 10 days away. Bill, our group of friends, we got our tickets already booked up. AMC, Dolby Theater, it's going to be great. So next week and this week, we want to, kind of give our previews to, how the universe has been going, where we think some of the plot lines are going to be going, and just our overall impressions of the current MCU to date. We're 10 years in here. So what we're going to be doing is ranking from 18 to 1, as there are currently 18 films that have been released before Infinity War, with Black Panther being the last one. We're going to rank them from our least favorite all the way down to our most favorite, and kind of compare notes and see how we do. Bill, so we did this the other day. Actually, last weekend we got together. We listed out.
Yeah, we
listed
hooked
our
up.
list. Yeah, we hooked up. We threw stuff against the wall to see what sticked.
Yeah,
or stuck.
like my ass.
Yeah, that did. Especially with those pretzels you've been eating. Yeah. It's a whole different story. We'll tell
It
you
probably
later.
took you a week to get him off the wall.
But we put our list together, and then we talked about it, and we wanted to bring it to you guys today. If you're listening online in the chat or wherever you're listening, we want you to share your ranking and how it compares to ours. So either check us out on Twitter or Facebook and leave your list of ranked MCU movies from your least favorite to most favorite, and we'll see how they stacked up against ours. So with that, Bill, I'm going to get right into it.
Yeah.
Because
Bum, bum, bum,
my
bum, bum,
least
bum.
favorite movie that has been released in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it was a little tough to pick because I had two, and they're very new releases.
Yeah.
We've had both of these movies in the past year. I decided to go, and I'm going to let this play for dramatic effect here because it sounds so great. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 at number 18, the lowest ranked of the MCU movies.
What the hell? What the hell? What? Say that again.
Come on, don't bullshit
Guardians
me.
of the Galaxy Volume 2.
You know what? That pisses me off.
That
That
pisses you off?
pisses me off. You know why?
Because you did too?
Pisses me off to no end.
Because you know what? Number 18 is Guardians of the Galaxy 2 for me also. And I'm pissed off that anybody out there thinks that this is a good movie. Defriend me now on Facebook.
Elaborate on that a little bit, Bill. Why do you feel so strongly
My God,
about
man.
your
You
statement?
know,
We don't have that kind of time.
I mean, I totally understand. It sucks. The first Guardians movie doesn't tie into the other
No,
ones, which
not
is
at
fine,
all.
but it sets up something new, whereas Guardians 2 was, building on that story, but it should have also been a gateway to something larger.
Yeah.
Because, Thanos is in the first one.
Yeah.
But then there's nothing connecting it to anything else.
Right.
Every scene in that movie is just a setup to the next shitty, ill-timed joke, and it had no substance. So by the time you get to the end battle with Kurt Russell and Star-Lord, and he finds out he's his weird, eternal, cosmic dad, and he killed his mom or gave his mom cancer, all this shit that's going on, you don't care about it. oh, Jack's made a funny poop joke.
Yeah.
So it
Pretty
does.
much
it's,
what it was.
That's all that movie was.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you run from start to finish with that movie. It starts off as a Disney movie, like, oh, look at the gang's all back together, and Drax.
Baby Groot's dancing around playing the fucking boombox while these other clowns are dancing around and shooting this giant pink vagina.
Yeah, you got Drax making dick jokes all throughout the movie, makes fun of the clearly Asian Pacific woman in the movie, and, you know, rips her a new asshole up and down.
Oh, my.
You got Kurt Russell, you know, looking like...
And I love Kurt Russell.
Looking like, you know, Daryl Hall in the movie, which, you know, it's not a bad thing anyway, but it's not 1979 again. So, you know, and his whole gimmick is that he just goes around shooting his sperm, which is basically these flower pots that he puts on planets, and they grow up to be his kids, only for the fact that nobody realizes that he kills his own kids in the movie.
Yeah.
There is a death pit.
There's a cave of bones.
A death pit of bones that he clearly said, oh, those are the kids that I didn't like. And a few more things and then I'm done. All right? To continue with this shit, you know, the whole Marvel formula was thrown out the window. You know, Marvel, typically when it's teaming up, they separate everybody, you know, and divide them on small issues, only to bring them back together. Stop talking. Only to bring them back together for the. I'll kick you out right now. I'll pay you when I'm done. If you're just gonna
go
interrupt,
tell them that I want to have a trivia match on their show.
I didn't say anything.
Mike, here,
all right,
seriously,
now we're just detracting.
Go back out in the hallway. Tell them that we're going to do a trivia match on their show because I already.
Are we going to debate this list?
Yeah. So Guardians 2 sucks.
Yeah,
Sucks. Bill, give me your number 17.
Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok.
I didn't even have to look at my list. I knew that. I just looked at the book for effect.
I agree because this is, obviously, if you've listened to the show and heard us talk about this movie, this was the one that I debated with, putting it at 18 or 17. They're very interchangeable. Thor Ragnarok is the same exact movie as Guardians 2.
Yeah.
Now, detractors are going to say, oh, there was a lot of stuff that happened because Odin died and he lost the hammer and Asgard was blown up.
All non-essential stuff because all that shit can be brought back at any time.
Well, not even that, because when all that stuff was happening, everybody was fucking cracking jokes about it the entire time. So you didn't feel any kind of emotion towards anything because the next fucking thing that somebody's going to say is a joke.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter, and it didn't make you feel connected to the movie because all you're waiting for is the setup to the next joke and the next joke.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that where it's like, oh, this was destroyed or that was destroyed, but it's like, okay, well, you also made a mockery of what was revealed as Thor's sister, who's an evil one at that, hell-bent on taking over the throne and was poised to be the, one of the baddest villains to date next to Loki, who
she does nothing for most of the movie and then is a waste because the times that she got to talk, her dialogue was great, but then she's sitting around and waiting for fucking Carl Urban to do shit that he doesn't want to do.
And if she doesn't do anything, she just like fucking vanishes, or like they just
exactly. You wasted Blake Kate Blanchett.
Dude, she was so hot, and could have been even hotter if she actually like did some badass like villainy. But
this just in, Kate Blanchett was hot.
Kate Blanchett. Looking her best. And you got Carl Urban, who was Scourge and, barely scratched the
I don't
surface.
want to cut people's heads off.
Yeah. And then Valkyrie, who's just an alcoholic. Like, I guess I'll save you. And then the fact that Jeff Goldblum, who's merely in it for, shock purposes. And then nobody realizes the fact that his spaceship was a sex ship that had, like, dildos and like 3D effects of like cum shooting out of it. When the fireworks went off, it was like supposed to be an analogy for something else. The movie was just a fucking bomb.
Yeah, it sucked. I hated every second that I had to sit in that theater, and I had to see it a week early too.
Yeah.
Stupid. All right, we're gonna get
Yeah.
into some diverging numbers here, Bill. I'm gonna start number 16 off with Iron Man 3, directed by Shane Black. I just felt that this movie really missed the mark, especially coming off of an Avengers movie where we saw Tony Stark take such a prominent role, and with the first movie being great, the second movie not being so great, but seeing him
Third
in Avengers.
Certainly not as great.
I mean, it was a Tony Stark story. It wasn't an Iron Man story, and there were a lot of missed opportunities, especially with the whole Mandarin twist that I absolutely hated.
And I have to agree that I also have Iron Man 3 on my list at this
Do
spot.
you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so we're 3 for 3 here.
yeah,
so far.
I agree with those points right there, and I don't totally hate this movie. It's for me, this movie is just merely at that spot on this list because of overall there's a lot of things that don't make it great. However, this is a movie that I can tolerate watching. I think
they
do miss the mark with certain things, like you were saying. So I think,
there's not a movie in the MCU that is unwatchable.
Yeah.
Let's say that. I mean, there's going to be movies that we love. There's going to be movies that we don't, and the in between. But there hasn't been as much as I hate Guardians.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a movie that
Guardians 2, you mean?
Guardians 2 that is completely unwatchable.
Right.
I mean, there are still redeeming qualities in every one of them that
Yeah.
you can get some kind of enjoyment out of. So we're not saying that they're complete. I mean, for the most part, they are. They're not complete shit.
Yeah.
So we're 16 through 18. That we have all the same. Bill, I'm gonna go through the next 3 from 15 to 13. I have Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk, and Thor: The Dark World. Where do you stack up against my?
Wait, what numbers were they?
15 through 13. I had Iron Man 2, The Incredible Hulk, and Thor: The Dark World. So the sequels for me have not been so strong according to my list.
So for 13, I would have Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
14, Civil War.
Really?
And 15, Thor 2. So
okay.
So we just said Iron Man 3 for 16. So for me, going Thor 2, Civil War, and 13, Incredible Hulk.
So we need to stop the presses here, Bill, because you just put.
Did I say something?
Civil War.
Yeah.
Down at the the back half here, the back portion of your list. Explain yourself, Bill. Captain America: Civil War, with fucking every other character in it.
Just how we mentioned.
We got Spider-Man in this movie, Bill.
Yeah, that's great.
We got Black Panther in this movie, Bill.
So we also have a Spider-Man movie now too.
Yeah.
So.
But the last time that you saw Spider-Man before that, he was
Spider-Man
breaking Gwen Stacy's neck.
Yeah, so I mean,
sucked.
Yeah, well, we're not rating fucking just Spider-Man movies right now, so
we should.
So Thor 2, yeah, you guessed that one, number 15. 13 is Incredible Hulk. I think that's a very rewatchable movie. I like the fact that Ed Norton started the Hulk franchise there with that one. But obviously the big surprise is Civil War.
Right.
For me, this movie is just like, a chick that you're looking at the bar, and she looks like a total 10. Tits are popping, nice legs. Jamie's getting a hard on over there. Hair's all done
Barb
up.
Isn't here today.
She looks good, right? But then
she starts talking.
As you get up there, you start talking. You can realize that
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, there's just nothing going on there. And I feel like for me, this movie did a lot of, face value type stuff. Like, you got, Tony Stark in a nice three-way scene with Cap and Bucky, and they are just, shooting loads all over the place, right? I mean, you get so many different, variables. You get Spider-Man for the first time, oh, Marvel doesn't even put him in the trailer, but he's right where you thought he would be, standing right in between Black Panther and Captain America because he's ready to do battle, you know, and he's fighting and stuff like that, and he's doing his whole Star Wars routine and shit. But, you know, there's another, you know, glamour shot right there. What are you, leaving? Good. Get out of here. You know, Scarlet Witch.
Go get my oil change while you're out there.
Get my oil change. Camera view is cutting Bill and Mike off. What? Somebody's writing. That's too far.
Well, we, don't
we took care of that earlier.
Yeah, we don't want to see Mike on the screen anyway.
Yeah, so what are you doing?
That was back at the beginning of the show.
Okay.
I did see you get up and fix that.
Gotcha. Thanks.
So, Bill, you're certainly entitled
That's what I get
to
paid
your,
for.
Like, you
your
know,
shitty opinion.
Zemo and stuff like that. Russian missile silo. All it did was just propel what Avengers needed to be right now. Like, it gave you Black Panther, right? It gave you Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like, it made you feel like a kid in a candy shop. But at the end of the day, when you watch this movie several times over, it doesn't do anything more than just make these characters present for you. So, at the end of the day, when I watch this movie, oh, wow, Falcon discovered terrorists in a trash truck. Great, Falcon.
See, I think this is where the issue between...
It doesn't matter what the issue is.
A shared universe for what it does or the standalone movie for what it does. This is a movie that is, you know, a key piece of the MCU as a whole, you know, taking from what came before.
I agree.
And advancing it. So, in your opinion, as just a pure standalone movie, it doesn't work as well for you and it doesn't hold up for you as much than it did the first time that you saw the movie. Because, you know, it was, you know, that kind of... It's a swing movie.
No, and
I from behind and comes from behind and then goes.
No, but I understand where you're coming from, and I understand what this movie does to incorporate and bring all that together. However,
look, I have a real bias
just
of
because
this movie
of its functionality, though.
Because I enjoy it, but I did see this movie in advance, like a week or two in advance.
Oh, good for you. When do I get to go to one of these things?
With the directors of the movie, the Russo brothers, doing a Q&A session after the movie was over. Yeah. You absolutely could have came, but you declined the offer, so I took Pat Mahoney to that one.
Pat Mahoney.
But, I mean, still, I think the movie is great. I would agree with you that there are definitely a lot of ebbs and flows and lulls in the movie to where it kind of gets long and paced out. But I think for everything that movie did, you know, bridging the gap between what has come before and what's moving ahead, I think it was just a really, really great movie that I enjoyed and I have ranked much higher than you.
Well, agree to distree.
When in Rome. Bill, read us your 12 through 10, please.
12 through 10. So, 12 is Avengers 2. And oh, no! We suck again! My 11 is Spider-Man Homecoming.
You egg-sucking piece of gutter trash.
And my number 10 is Iron Man 2.
Oh, God, don't care.
Okay, we're definitely diverging here. In my number 12, I have Ant-Man. I have Guardians, number 1, Uno, at number 11, and the first Iron Man at 10. Explain your last three choices. Why did you put them where you did?
Starting with number 13, Spider-Man, I thought that it was a very enjoyable introduction to the character. You know, having just come off the Civil War, you know, display. Obviously, Marvel wanted to...
That's all the movie was good for.
Marvel wanted to get him back in the fold pretty quickly, and they did. But, I mean, overall, the storyline, like, I wasn't, you know, completely impressed. I liked Vulture. I liked, you know, his tie-in with Tony and, you know, getting the bigger picture involved there and stuff. But, you know, for me, it was just one of those movies that it just, once again, just served its purpose. It wasn't a terribly great standalone movie, but it just felt like a, like a 2.5 to some of these movies. They come in and they just kind of, obviously just try and piggyback the cash cow a little bit, and from a business standpoint, they're just trying to make sure that they can crank out just an overall solid movie that's not going to be ripped apart by people like us too much, and
especially on St. Patty's.
Yeah, but I mean, they're successful at doing that. They're successful at cranking out a movie and making it a decent product that's going to make money for them, and that the audience is going to watch, rewatch it, multiple times, and be okay with that. And I am okay with this movie, but that's where it's at. So Avengers 2, I thought
Quickly in a nutshell,
I like the overall cast and the action in this movie, but it still wasn't that great. And number 10, Iron Man 2. I think rewatchability wise, I enjoy this movie.
I want bird.
That's not my bird. Yeah, I thought this movie was pretty good. You get War Machine and Iron Man teaming up for the first time, and they're getting together, and Justin Hammer's a pretty funny character.
Stephen Rockwell's great, but who cares? Number 12, I have Ant-Man. Funny, fresh, something different than what we had gotten previously. Not the strongest.
Yeah, I put that higher on my
Not
list.
the strongest character or story. Yeah, he's not an A-list character that you really need to be too aware of. So yeah, I said Guardians number 11, the first Guardians, and Iron Man at 10. The first Iron Man is, obviously it's definitely a top 10 movie. It set up the entire MCU as we know it. Established Tony as,
So you have Iron Man 2 higher?
No.
Or where'd you have that?
Iron Man 2 was 15 for me.
Oh, okay. That's right.
We're going to get through 9 through 7 here. I have Thor. Very good movie, very good introduction. Kind of lacking a little bit in plot development towards the the second half of the film. There's a little bit of a lull there, and then the Destroyer is kind of just a generic throwaway villain that you really didn't care too much about.
Yeah, I also had Thor at 9. Same thing, I thought the introduction to Asgard.
Yeah, a cool introduction to the world, the characters, what you needed to know, how he came to be. But the rest of the story wasn't all that great.
The story and the lack of development on Thor's companions as well.
Right. Yeah. The Warriors 3.
Yeah.
Number 8, I had Avengers 2, Age of Ultron. Anytime you're getting all these characters together, it's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. It's going to be spectacular. Yeah. James Comey. I don't think I don't rip on it as much as other people seem to. There's some questionable calls with Ultron and his mannerisms and plots and whatever. But you're getting to see everybody come together and fucking kick ass.
Exactly.
So it's a top 10 movie. And then I have Spider-Man: Homecoming as number 7. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero of all time. I think for what this movie did in terms of introducing the character in a fresh new way that wasn't repetitive, a great villain, really cool supporting characters, and a great introduction into his part as the MCU is a firm place to where I got it. Firmly entrenched in my number 7 position.
So Doctor Strange is my number 8.
Okay.
I feel like I feel like the the origin standalone movies, were getting better throughout this entire Marvel run.
Right.
So, just to recap, Thor at 9, Doctor Strange at 8. I really love the visuals in Doctor Strange too.
100% agree.
Yeah, I mean, it was the nice balance of, like old school mysticism with like new age, like cosmic trippy, and it blended very well with the themes. Number 7, I have Ant-Man. I thought this, for what is a pretty B-level character, and this is obviously where we differ. You have Spider-Man, in this three slot here.
It felt so much more disconnected from the rest of the MCU for me.
Yeah.
To where that's why I put it lower than I did.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's right in the heart of things right away.
Yeah. No, and I mean that's what you would expect for that character. But I mean, just like how we, we're just talking, moments ago about Cheetah in the DC, like, you got B-rate characters.
Someone's copying off everybody.
Yeah, like you got B-level characters like that are gonna come in. You got B-level characters like that are coming in, and obviously Cheetah's not getting a standalone movie anytime soon. But the fact that they took Ant-Man, a property that they had an idea that they wanted to do with it, and they got the right guy in there, I believe. Paul Rudd.
Yeah, Paul Rudd's great.
And I feel like they knocked it home. I feel like the supporting cast that they had in there too was like the right balance. Like it wasn't like too popular of a cast. Like Ant-Man's kind of a gritty star.
I mean, T.I.'s in really high demand.
Yeah, but you had him, and I mean, you have some names in there, and I thought the movie did really well. Despite like the overall character itself, and just what was being said about it.
Right. So that's your through 7.
Yes. So
Bill, I'm just gonna read you the last remaining ones for me.
All right.
A lot of the same points that you already iterated with Doctor Strange. Incredible visuals, great story, great origin story. Number 5, I have Captain America.
6.
That was number 6. Captain America, the first Avenger. Number 5, Cap's introduction. Great story, great characters, great plot. Loved it. Number 4, the newest MCU edition in Black Panther, for everything that movie did in terms of the story, in terms of the great character development that we got, in terms of the new world that we were introduced to, and how Black Panther ties into the rest of the MCU.
Where'd you put Black Panther?
Black
4?
Panther I have number 4. Number 3, I have Winter Soldier, which is gonna increase my Captain America trilogy as the best trilogy here. Civil War I have at number 2. We already debated about that, and then I have the Avengers at number 1. So in terms of my rankings, I do think that the Captain America trilogy is the best in the MCU. I'm sure my opinions are going to change where my number 1 is going to be after we see Avengers Infinity War, but for now I have Avengers number 1 at my number 1 spot.
Who does number 2 work for?
Yeah, baby, yeah!
All right, so number 6, I got the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Overall, great team-up movie for the first time in the cosmic universe. Incredible numbers. Got incredible people put on incredible displays of experiences. And that's why it's in the number 6 slot. Number 5, got Black Panther. All right, so Black Panther introduces the modern-day Black Panther out of Wakanda into the number 1 superhero franchise role. So Black Panther, number 5. Number 4, I got one of the first standalone Marvel movies. Actually, is the first. Going with Iron Man in the number 4 spot. You can't beat this movie. It's what said it all. Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark.
Bill thinks he looks like Robert Downey.
Don't I kind of? Jamie's like
his wife wants to believe
being all
that he is.
Which just means, yeah, I got you. All right.
We got 2 more.
1 second.
Mike keeps interrupting us, but we don't want to see you sneeze, you idiot.
Yeah. Get a new leather
I'm not even
jacket.
going to say bless you.
Get a new leather jacket.
Bill, give us your last 2.
All right, number 3. Captain America 1.
Yep.
First Avenger. Classic
Great movie.
Started, pretty much what we know now. Number 2 is Captain America 2, Winter Soldier. This movie was, like a Bond movie on steroids with, all the action and adventure that you need. And then the first movie. The Avengers, I mean, like you said earlier, with
Yeah, the first time you're getting
when
all these
you get
characters
all
together,
these people together,
you can't replace your first.
it's
And there you have it. So what we want you guys to do is let us know what your rankings of the entire MCU are, from least favorite to most favorite. Leave that on our Facebook or Twitter pages or Instagram, wherever you can find us in the comment section of this show. And that is going to do it for us today. We will be back in 2 weeks' time. We'll have more lead into Infinity War, our thoughts, our predictions, what we think the movie's going to be like,
Nuprin.
who's going to die,
different.
and who's taking Nuprin. And
Pat Mahoney out there is taking Nuprin.
good, he needs some. For myself, Sean Harrigan, for Bill Rowdy Tozzi, for Mike Francolino, and Jamie Baumgartner, we want to say thank you guys for checking out the show today. Have a happy St. Paddy's Day. We'll see you in 2 weeks.